Sever everybody, coming back again live, collection connection, talking shit. I've got Moses with us today from Them Bad Neighbors. You can see the links to his show down below. And I've got the jaded geek himself, Josh Scott.
What's up?
When we finish, if you want, we can actually put a link to your Insta below. I've got that on there for Havok. So even though he doesn't have a channel to promote, he can still promote his Insta if you're interested. I don't know. All right, we got several cool things going on this week. We got the invites out for the rest of our compadres, and hopefully they're able to come through. But we just got done talking offline, but I am still interested in continuing this subject, and I think it could be good for most people who are into who we are and what we do. A great, I don't know, like Q&A we were doing about the goings on with comic shops and Diamond and whatnot.
Well, I don't know how much of the conversation I can contribute beyond what I have, just simply because I'm kind of like the third step at the store in terms of who's making the decisions and who's calling the people on the front line. But I think we've talked about it a little bit on previous episodes that this is basically something where the way that the industry has set itself up over time is that there's one main distributor for the comic books. At least up until recently, was one main distributor, which was Diamond. And if you have issues with Diamond, that's your only shot. You don't have a way to reroute or to deal with a different distributor. I think when the COVID hit, I don't remember if it was because of COVID or if it was before that, but there was a switch that DC and a couple of the other smaller publishers made to a distributor called Lunar, which I think operates out of New York. And so that was another avenue through which the product could come. It's one of those things where if you're dealing just with the one distributor, there's not a whole lot of other options that you've got to go with. And, we were talking about whether or not, it's like intentional or something like that. But I think it's just an issue of, when there's no other competition in town, I don't think there's a lot of incentive to be high performance. And I was mentioning that when we were in California, we went a couple weeks to go pick up the new comic books at Diamond and Carson. And there's like one guy that's working the warehouse when all the comic shops are picking up their product. And when he takes his lunch break, all the work just stops, grinds to a halt. So I don't know if that's a skeleton crew issue, if his job, there's a union contract that says he's the only one who can do it. Who knows what all the circumstances are. I don't want to lay like too much shade on it, but I mean, the reality
Logistics.
Yeah. I mean, all of those things put together just makes it difficult when you're having trouble getting your product in to get it resolved in a timely fashion, and you don't have another avenue to go with. So
yeah,
from
that's
my
a
perspective, this is the perfect environment for somebody that has a lot of logistics experience, maybe a little bit of startup cash, to jump in and offer themselves as a competitor in this market and outperform the existing, monopoly, basically, and really start driving some progress in this area. Just some thoughts.
Yeah, I'm sure that somebody looking to get into this is looking at the overall numbers going through these things as well. Like, you're still going to be like, it's ripe for somebody to go in and get a piece of it. But like, are you going to put the money in to go get a piece of a sinking ship? Like, are comics a sinking ship? Are the sales dwindling?
Yeah,
I can't speak on that. I don't know. I know that it's limping along with like variant covers and like, yeah, that's where I like what the Comic Cave guys are doing with trying to put those good stories through and propping up the indie people, because ultimately, comics as a medium need that representation of a solid driving force, and it's not always going to be like X-Men events where Apocalypse and Strife fight each other or whatever. You got to have there's stories to be told that are best done in that way.
Right. And I'm with you in the sense that it seems like the industry, at least when it comes to like the big two or three, Marvel, DC, and perhaps even Image, it seems like those companies are struggling from both forces, external and internal to the companies. And I think it makes it a tough market, but I think that comic retailers, basically the customers of these comic companies, I think comic retailers can still stand out in this market and Ray's Comics is a good example of that, the kind of environment that people want to come to, with knowledgeable staff that are friendly and like are passionate about the industry and the product. It's one of those things. I left a 14-year career in cancer research to join this project because I think that it's going somewhere. So as dismal as it seems sometimes, I mean, after all, I am the jaded geek. The reality is that there's promise and there's hope for the industry. And like you said, the Comic Cave is one of those avenues where you can see that glimmer of hope.
Hey, Joshua. Sorry, man. I'm not into the comics books as much as these guys. I'm pretty ignorant when it comes to that. But are there I know that there's Marvel, DC. Are there independent comic book guys and like maybe other comic books that we haven't even heard of that are really good and really famous? And because
Sure.
I mean, honestly, all you hear is DC, Marvel. I mean, honestly, that's all I know of. What else is there out there?
Well, I'm no expert. You have to keep in mind that I'm only re-entering the business very recently. In terms of my jadedness, I jumped ship way back in the early 2000s because I was disappointed with it back then. So you can imagine, imagine my fury coming back into it. But so Marvel and DC obviously are the big two. Marvel having been acquired by Disney, DC by Warner Brothers. There's a lot of money behind those two, so they're the ones that get all of the spotlight and the exposure. Image Comics is out there. I think their big headliner is Spawn. It's the only thing of theirs I think that's made it to the big screen. And I hear that they're doing another one for that.
They had some. About The Walking Dead, right, Mo?
Oh, The Walking Dead, yeah.
Walking Dead came from a comic book, and that came out of Image Comics.
And same thing with Invincible.
Okay, I like Invincible. That's a good one too.
Yeah, the
I would have
Invincible
thought that was fell in the line of Warner Brothers or DC or something like that. But
no,
it's not, huh?
No.
And then
see,
The Boys. Yeah. Where was The Boys out of, Havok?
What?
The Boys.
Was it Dynamite? I think it was Dynamite.
Huh.
Anyway,
The Boys is on TV, and that came from a comic book. It's been ever since The Walking Dead came out. So I want to say the last 10 or 11 years, maybe 12 years. That's been a mine that a lot of studios have been going towards. Sandman on Netflix. That came out of, I think, DC, but that was still their imprint. It was
Vertigo.
That was Vertigo. So it's a pretty big deal, and you don't know about it because you're just probably not plugged into that scene. You're not seeing about it.
Yeah, but it's good. I appreciate the fact that you're on here because you kind of represent the normal crowd out there, the people that are kind of looking in from the outside, and it's good to have that kind of perspective to add to what we're doing here. So I'm actually excited to have you in here because you'll put some fresh eyes on some things that some of us don't even want to look at anymore.
Hey,
thanks, man. Yeah, I just
Yeah,
Well,
I just
Fuzzy
want to
said
learn how much. Yeah.
the boys are dynamite, and then
uh,
James
Yeah.
well,
Lewis, Deadly
the boys,
Class.
the boys started in Wildstorm first. They came out in Wildstorm, and then they got revived at Dynamite.
Mm.
Deadly Class, that was on Sci-Fi Channel. There's Umbrella Academy on Netflix.
I like that. That's a good one. Who are they? Who are they by? Umbrella Academy. The original.
I'm not sure. I'm sure a listener. That's I'm getting these.
Havoc
I'm
knows.
getting these from the listeners.
Yeah, after for the boys, they only lasted one year with Wildstorm, and then they got canceled after the first volume, and then they came back on Dynamite, who published like 8 volumes.
That was a bummer
that-
with Umbrella Academy. That was a good show.
And the boys comic book makes the TV show look like it's PG, man. That comic is crazy.
Oh man, it's already gruesome. Yeah, man, the boys is really good. I like that.
Yeah, if you read the comic book, buckle up. It's a ride.
Yeah, and the show's gruesome at that too. You know, so
It is.
just
Yeah,
imagine.
it's
Just imagine the difference.
Yeah, it's lighter though. The comic book is way gnarlier.
I'm gonna have to check that out then.
Yeah, the Umbrella Academy is Dark Horse, and of course it was created by Mr. Gerard Way from My Chemical Romance, which I saw last Wednesday.
Oh, there you go. How was the show?
Really good, actually.
Nice.
It's a really good show.
Nice. All right. So we've got. I'm wondering where we're going with everything because we've been on this tangent for the last couple months where we kind of at least for the live stream we've kind of pivoted into just kind of following certain shows, and it's been giving us consistent things to talk shit about, and all of our metrics are up over it too. So it's kind of like, it's it's like, oh man, these shows are all ending. Like, I can't believe I'm sitting here sad that She-Hulk's going to end or that She-Hulk ended, but I mean, that's
Andor is still going, right?
we got
a few
Andor.
more-
Yeah, we
more
got Andor
episodes,
for
I
a
think.
few more, and we got House of the Dragon for one more.
Mhm.
Yeah, but there should be other ones coming out also. I forgot the which one's next. I know this week. I know Black Adam. Well, for the movie, Black Adam's coming out on Thursday.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, and and then the big news today: Walter Hamada is out as president of the DC movies. So he was the main guy blocking a lot of big things, like having what's his name back as Superman. He didn't want him as Superman anymore. And so now that he's gone, because The Rock was also he wants to have Henry Cavill as Superman, and with whole Black Adam and everything, because he wants to do another movie. And so the rumor has it is that he went above Hamada to the higher ups and talked to them, and they agreed. They said okay. And after that, it seems like Hamada's out. He's done. So he's and everybody's happy because now they just announced they're starting to try to do a new Superman script. So Henry Cavill could come back as Superman.
Yeah, I liked him as Superman. I thought that some of the scripts that they did kind of made him into like an unsympathetic alien. They were a little bit on the dark tone, Snyder, he's doing all that sepia tone shit. But I never disliked him as Superman. In fact,
Yeah.
I never really disliked any of the casting they had done on any of those the Justice League
Oh,
project.
I love Man of Steel. That to me, that was awesome Superman movie.
Oh, that was a terrible film, man. What's wrong with you?
That was beautiful. That's like that's my Superman right there. I'm like, it's better than the cheesy ass 70s movies and shit, you know?
Hey, how dare you? How dare you?
Yeah, those cheesy ass. Yeah, nah,
Hey,
no thanks.
so look, Henry Cavill, I think, makes a fine Superman, but I'm 100% with Nate. I think the problem wasn't Cavill. I think the problem was the writing and the direction that they decided to go. They decided to have a darker DC universe, and so you have this morally conflicted Superman when he ought not to be that way. He's supposed to be the bastion, you know, right? The archetype, the one who represents, you know, justice and hope and peace and
that's the only thing that
security.
did bug me, that they changed Pa Kent that much. Because Pa Kent should have been the light for Superman. You know, he should have been like the most purest man, like the nicest, kindest man there is. But in the movie, they totally did the whole 180.
Yeah.
And that part I did not like. I did not like having him like that, because I'm like, when he was about to die, you know, Superman wouldn't have cared if anybody saw his identity. He would have saved his dad for no matter what. No matter what. Even if he gave him that sign to not save him, like,
Right.
he would not care. He still say that's his dad.
Right.
You know?
The whole reason that John Kent's death works in the original Superman is because the heart attack. It's not something that Superman can stop.
Yeah.
Right. But in this one, it's a tornado. Well, Superman's got that. That's easy.
Yeah. I mean, he's faster than that. So I'm like,
Just go up and suck the tornado out of the sky with his super lungs, like.
Because he just wanted to prove a point, and I did not like that. I just did not like I didn't like the way they wrote Pa Kent.
I personally think that one of the great weaknesses of the DC cinematic universe is the way that they portray Superman. I think that having him, like I said, be morally conflicted in that way, to the point where he asks both of his parents, how does he know what to do is right, and all this kind of stuff. It's crazy. He shouldn't be like that. And so, like Nate said, he's unsympathetic as a character, and that's a dangerous thing with Superman, because Superman is so powerful that he's hard to identify with as an audience member. You know, he can't be hurt. He's super fast. You know, he's stronger than anything we know. Yeah, he's basically perfect. He's like a god, and so you have to make him sympathetic to us in some other way. And what they did was they removed his constancy as a beacon of
Boy Scout.
moral purity. Yeah, and so they made him they made him like us, except with indestructible powers. And I just don't think it works. I look at him and I go like, "What's wrong with you?"
What I did enjoy was they made him basically what, you know, in our era, like, he was learning how to be Superman. He was barely Superman for like not even that an hour. When General Zod showed up, I enjoyed it that General Zod had all that experience as being as an army person against a kid. Well, not a kid anymore, but he was a young man that has barely learned how to have his powers. So it's like Superman wasn't even a Superman for like an hour. Yeah. So he getting his ass kicked throughout the whole movie, I didn't mind, because he just didn't know how to fight.
Yeah.
And so, plus they brought in like actual nowadays world stuff going on, so I didn't mind that either. But I did, like you said, I did not like the changes of Pa Kent. I did not like that. Yeah, he wasn't a Boy Scout, like a true Boy Scout, like the purest of all of us. That's Superman. Like, you want to be Superman. Batman wants to be Superman. Yeah. It's like, but he knows he can't. He has to be the Dark One, but he still respects Superman. And so that's you're right. That's the part that I just did not like. And hopefully now that Hamada's gone, and well, now that I mean, I did enjoy some of the Snyder stuff, not everything. But now that Snyder's no longer there and Hamada's gone, hopefully,
I think as a company, they're working on stopping all the bleeding with all the different projects that were just kind of there and not really making any money. But they were making money on the back end is a weird thing because DC, they went and cut all those cartoons and they're doing a bunch of stuff that didn't necessarily make money like $1 in your hand right here, but it did support the platforms that they have. Like it supported HBO Max.
Well, they need a leader. That's what they need. They need a
Feige.
They need a Feige because, and I've been saying since the beginning that James Gunn would be a perfect Feige for DC. In my opinion, he will be perfect.
Does any of that tie into the TV show that's on the is it the WB? No. Is it the WB? The one
What
where
show?
he's the father? The Superman. Where he has two kids.
Superman and Lois?
Yeah, Superman and Lois.
No, that's a whole separate thing.
It's a whole separate thing?
Yeah.
Okay. So that guy,
good luck keeping up with that shit, man.
Does it tie into that? Like that was a pretty good show.
One of the things that you're going to find is that there's a marked lack of consistency from some of the TV shows to the films and back again. There's not much of a desire on the part of the content creators of this material to try to remain faithful to any particular story arc or timeline. It's why we keep getting reboots of Batman and Spider-Man every 5 to 10 years. And why portrayals of certain characters in shows are markedly different than they are on the big screen or even from show to show.
But do you think reboots are bad? Like for them to change a certain thing in their life to make it more relevant to now and make a new Spider-Man per se? I mean, I'm not saying let's make them gay or something like that. Like, hope to God that they never do, but something like that.
Too late,
something
Mom.
relevant to this time.
Yeah. Well, so there's two things there. I think first of all, we probably ought to look at comic books as kind of like our modern mythology. The ancients had their pagan gods, and we have Superman.
Iliad.
Yeah, they have the Iliad, and we have Kingdom Come. So I think that there should be a desire on our part to try, in making this content, to try to be faithful to the original material. But the other thing that we have to be aware of is because of the times in which we live, there's a lot of external pressure to make everything reflect the weirdness of the world that we're in. And so oftentimes that stuff infects what we see on the big screen, and you'll have weird casting choices or changes in the way that characters behave that will alter things in ways that the creators of these things probably never intended. And I think that we do a lot of dishonor to the people that laid the groundwork for us to enjoy these things by doing that.
Awesome. Well said.
Thank you.
Yep. Will Superman ever defeat Batman?
If he felt like it.
But how come me and Nate argued about this on a bike ride once for a while. So DC invests too much money into Batman. Why can't we just make it realistic and say Superman can just destroy Batman with his lasers?
Look at his mouth.
But, yeah, like blow him, not blow him, but yeah, even then blow him. Fucking
Superman would like that
off
blow.
or some shit, like fuck. It's Superman versus Batman. Come on.
Yeah. I think the reason that doesn't happen is just because of the meta factor, which is that Batman's a tentpole character, rakes in a lot of money for DC. It wouldn't do them any good to obliterate him, even with a character that could do it without blinking an eye.
I mean, where's DC without Batman?
Right. I mean, how many Bat titles are there? Isaac, do you know?
Like 12? I don't know, dude. One too many. One too many.
Too many. Too many. Yeah. That's their bread and butter.
They're the
Bruce
majority.
Wayne go.
They're the majority of the
guess.
books out every week is like 4 Batman titles per week. Fucking ridiculous. Batman's here, Batman's there. Batman. When I was reading Batman, I was like, wait, what the fuck did I just read? Wasn't he just here? So I confused Batman, Detective Comics, the greatest detective ever, fucking I Am Batman, Metal, Dark Knight Returns Metal, fucking all these different books all being shitted out of the same week. Can't fucking keep up when we're trying to talk about a title, and I'll be like, oh, and then Joker, and then the side characters also have their own titles too. Joker, Batgirl, Nightwing,
Harley Quinn.
Robin. It's unreal.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you remember, but back in the day, I mean, when I used to actually read comics for reals, when there were crossover events, they would pay attention to where characters were, and they'd always have like a little footnote down on the bottom of the page or the bottom of a panel, little asterisk, and then it says, "Oh, for this adventure, see
I love
Fantastic Four number
I
whatever."
I like that too.
That
a
was the
lot.
best.
They
Every
don't
time
do
that would
anymore.
happen, I would end up with a new book in front of me right after, and I'd be like, "Hold
That-
on, I have to go back and read what happened here." And
Or go
that's
buy
how
correct.
your
your book.
read pile. That's how
You
your
would-
read pile gets so big.
Right, you would go back and you would find the issue referenced in that little
Yeah.
footnote. You go buy it so that you could
Exactly.
catch
I was
up
going
and
to say that
realize.
if I didn't have it, I had to go buy it because I couldn't not know what that story was going
And
on.
usually
Right.
it was only like a 2-3 panels of that on that other book that just showed
Yeah.
up for a little bit. And it had nothing to do. It just showed up for 2 panels. And you're like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, that's how it fits.
He came out of a porta potty.
Yeah,
And that's how he became a part of the adventure.
And it's
Right.
an issue that it's a title that you never even cared about, but you bought it just because your favorite character's on there.
Metal
Like 2
Man,
panels.
Metal Man, Molten Man, fucking
That's right.
titles like that. Eclipse. You're just like, I
Yeah,
would
so
never.
Eclipso,
It never.
Darkness Within. Remember, it had the
I
little
never
crystal on it.
expected to
Oh,
own
dude.
that book, but there it was in my fucking collection.
Dude, that
I used
Eclipso
to-
crossover was dope, dude.
I used to be a diehard Captain America fan, and
No way.
that was
You
shut up.
serious? I thought you were a Daredevil fan with those fucking
I'm
glasses.
doing this for the benefit of Mo, okay? I used to be a diehard Captain America fan, and I would go out of my way to get those other books that he would appear in because I was so dedicated that I was like, I just got to get whatever Captain America shows up in here, there, and the storylines would all connect together. And when I would have them in my long whites, I would put those issues in like next to the comic where they were referenced so that it would all make sense. I'd go back and read it and it would all be continuous.
Yeah, I would do the same thing.
Yeah.
That is nuts. I recently, well, not recently, I used to watch The Flash on whatever, I think the WB. And at one point they are intertwined with all kinds of different shows like Supergirl and I can't think the Arrow and all this. I thought that was all new, like them intertwining with each other and you having to go watch another show to understand this. And that's pretty embarrassing though, because I had to watch Supergirl to be able to keep up with this.
You loved
That's how it was, man.
I
That's how it
did.
used to
She was
be.
fucking
Well,
hot.
I mean, Arrow and Flash, especially Arrow, those first 3 to 5 seasons were off the hook. Same thing with
yeah, they were
Flash.
really good.
Flash
yeah,
was really
definitely.
good, and then it just went downhill.
It did.
After a while,
Yeah. Like right after they intertwined with each other, I think it fell apart. Like right before that, I mean. And then once it got to that, and then you had like it just the storyline got outrageous. It was like so many verses coming in and intertwining with each other. I was like, I'm done with it. I can't do it. But I still finished watching it. So
How many of those shows are still running?
just
Zero?
Superman, I think.
no.
Oh, really?
no, the
Flash, Arrow, Supergirl, they're all done?
Oh,
Yeah.
Arrow's been done for years.
No, they're all done. Just the
Is it
Flash
the
just
Legends of
finished, I think,
Tomorrow
recently.
still on?
No, Legends is done too.
Yeah.
Isn't Stargirl still going?
I think it is.
Batgirl.
That
Batgirl,
girl's still
that's
gone.
that's gone.
Is
Batwoman,
it? Oh shit!
Batwoman,
No, that's gone.
She-Hulk.
Oh,
Oh,
Ah.
thank God, that's
Are you
Thank
opening the
God,
segue?
yeah.
There's
Let's
five
say
of
we,
us
Yeah.
now.
let's say we to that
Dude,
garbage.
okay. Am I the only one that felt personally attacked by that fucking last episode?
That was at you guys, the guys who hate it. It was at all you guys.
Oh my god.
You're part of those troll community with
That's
all those
that's
goobs.
not the
No,
most
no, well, here's the thing. Here's the thing, right? Let me set up my point, because it was like, all right, here it is. It's going there. He stole the blood. Like the little seeds and all of the bullshit that we've had to fucking put ourselves through in this shitty fucking show have all led to this moment, and we're gonna finally get the payoff. And then she's like, no, it's gonna just be shitty. Like, fuck you guys.
Hey, Mouse.
You're an incel, and I'm gonna fucking like, what? Like, fuck, man. Like, I can see why people, I don't know.
It was fucking horrible. This show, like you said, I thought, okay, I was like, all right. I was at the end. I was okay. I got a little laugh here. Okay, they're gonna do something with that with the actual blood. I'm hoping it's gonna be Maestro. I mean, what's
The
name?
leader?
The leader.
That's what I was thinking too. I thought his
Something,
body
like-
was gonna get buff, and then it was gonna go into his head.
but no, I didn't think about that, dude. I thought just actually another person was gonna come in, but when all this thing happened, it was just like, what am I watching? This is fucking. And then I'm talking. She's talking to this stupid ass robot.
That was
It's
Kevin
just-
Feige.
Oh my
I
god.
thought you were Kevin Feige, bro.
Oh my god. It was
Robot.
yeah. I
That
was
was
done.
breaking the fourth wall, showing us that it's not even a real person running the place. It's a fucking algorithm. It's
I
running.
mean, that's horrible, dude. Just if you're gonna be lazy and not write stuff, I mean, make it. I mean, you can't break the fourth wall and
But
just
this
start
show
walking
showed
through
you-
through the
Hey,
sea
they-
of where
They
they're
made this for
writing
women.
it.
This is at women's speed, at women's intellectual level. So you have to appreciate that it was made for women. See, this
Yeah.
is their line.
Exactly what it was.
What they're basically saying is women
So
are
they're in
dumb
their
and
own
unfunny.
reality. Is that what it is? That
It
they
just
just think
said
that they're in
that
their own reality. They can walk
this is
around
for
making shit
us.
up at any
This
given
is
time.
for us.
Any comments that Joshua has said is his opinion and not for the shows.
Whatever, wuss.
Oh, he's
Look.
right. He's 100.
No.
I mean,
But the thing is
they're just
that's what
pandering
they
to.
that's what they say. That's what they're telling us. They're telling us that it's not for us, that it's for women. So when you watch the show, what you're supposed to get out of it is that women don't expect consistency of story. They don't respect the canon of the characters. They're not looking for laughs every second. There's no point to any of the action. The stories are falling apart. There's like all of this stuff is what women want, but not really.
Here's the thing, right?
Women I know didn't like it.
So there's the hypothetical table, right? The hypothetical table has seated at the hypothetical table are all the people of power and privilege, and they're the Illuminati's at the table, and they run the world. And you finally have worked hard and shown that you're good enough and smart enough, and doggone it, people like you, and you get to sit at the table. You're at the table. When you get to the table, you don't shit on the people at the table that let you be at the table.
Right.
You don't, or if you want to stay at the table, and that's if you're gonna go to that table. Now, I'm totally fine. You want to do all that shit? That's cool. Make your own fucking table. But if you're gonna come to this table, at least be respectful of the people at the table.
They're gonna do anything they want to whatever table they want because they own all the fucking tables.
That's correct.
They're not gonna follow the
And,
same.
you know, we might
method,
lead the
but they're
table
not gonna
too.
follow the same writing method of every freaking show that you love, because you know what? They don't care what you gotta say because they've got your money and your eyes on the show regardless.
But is that our fault for going through and watching all 8 episodes?
You're the one
or
that sat through it. They got
8
you
hours of
regardless. They
this
got your
horrible
time
garbage?
regardless. They got regardless. They could do whatever they want because you know what?
Well,
We're all subscribed to these channels. We're all watching it. We're all talking about it. Good or bad, they still got something out of us.
yeah, let's be realistic here, though. If it wasn't for the fact that I was your guys' friend and you were gracious enough to invite me onto this program, I wouldn't spend one damn minute watching that garbage. It was
There you
awful.
go. See, but we're talking about it.
Yeah, I know.
So they did it.
Yeah, there's
and
no such
they
thing as
didn't get
bad
us-
publicity, huh?
They knew that we were
Uh.
gonna watch it and we were gonna talk shit on it, and they made all the characters about us talking shit on it, and here you are talking shit on it.
Shit about it.
No. Let's be fair. Let's be fair. Those guys on the video when they were like calling her out at that award ceremony.
Like calling her a whore. She's a whore.
Yeah, those guys. I don't know if you guys follow some of the other content out there, but those guys look like Doomcock. Doomcock has been on like Disney like flies on shit for years, and
So
I
that's
think
who they
it's
based it
finally
off of
getting
him?
to them. Well, he wears a mask like that when he does his show, and so their masks look a lot like his mask. I think it's remarkable that of all of the different critical content creators out there that are always like dragging down Star Wars and Marvel and all of this stuff, that they went for him specifically. Because if you ever watch Doomcock's content, you'll see what I'm talking about, that those masks that they were wearing look exactly like he does.
Just be careful when you try to find Doomcock.
It sounds like
Yeah.
somewhere you'd end up
They're all one
in
word,
the Doctor
no spaces?
Doom costume
His-
with his cock out.
I just
No.
Googled it, and you guys have to make sure you guys put a space after Doom.
Oh,
No. Doomcock is one word. Doomcock is
Oh,
one
that
word.
was my mistake. Don't put
Yeah,
a space
so-
after Doom.
Yeah, so
Yeah, it looks
it's-
like you'd leave an indent in your head.
No, that
His
poor
channel-
chick is not going to recover from what I just saw.
That's
His
gonna take
channel is,
major
is-
surgery.
is Overlord DVD. That's what his channel is.
I accidentally
So-
put Overlord DP and I got the wildest thing ever. Overload DVDA double badge.
So,
Anal, sorry.
How many of you guys were grateful to get Scar showing up at the family
Oh my
picnic?
god, such a great introduction of Hulk's son.
Yeah.
Fucking
Not
A.
the-
My book has skyrocketed thanks to this show.
Yes.
Oh man, what a even
Steve
Liz
was
was looking
so
at it.
happy.
She's like,
Steve's
"What
like,
the
I need that
hell?"
hairdo. Steve's like, I want that hairdo.
I'm like,
Oh,
Dude, I was expecting him to have a bowl cut, so I was stoked about that haircut.
He had the Edgar. He had the reverse Edgar.
Yeah, I was gonna say he looked like an Edgar in the book. So, oh man,
it did push the book up though.
I know.
every book, dude. Even the one where El Aguila makes his first appearance went from being like a $3 fucking or $1 fine book to like a $10 to $15 book.
Yeah, I'll be back to $1 in like a couple of months.
Yeah, but if you had that book, unload it is what I'm
Oh,
trying
no,
to say.
yeah, that's true.
Yes.
Yeah, but
I'm gonna assume you guys were talking about She-Hulk.
Yes.
yes,
You know what?
Can you
one
tell
more
by the
punchline.
disappointment in her face?
It's been often, the show has often been
I would have been
accused-
confused then if you guys were talking about Lord of the Rings or what is it? I wouldn't be able to tell with that disappointed face. I'm like, wait, are they talking about the Amazon Lord of the Rings or are they talking about She-Hulk? Let me see. Then I hear
So-
Doomcocks and all this other stuff being thrown around. I'm like, okay, hold on. Scar's appearance. They're talking about She-Hulk.
So the one other thing that kind of made me groan out loud in that final episode, when she's breaking the fourth wall and coming out into the real world or what have you, it's been the show has been accused for a long time because a lot of the creative staff on that, the director, the writers, everybody's a woman, and their desire they've said that their desire is to put a lot of their personal trials and tribulations on the screen and tell it in a funny way through the She-Hulk. which leads people to say like, oh, it's just a bunch of bitter old middle-aged single cat women that are writing for this thing. And then they actually have the gall in the final episode to put themselves in the show, sitting around the table when She-Hulk comes in to talk to them. The director is there, the writers are there, all these people that I've watched interviews for are there. It's really a fulfillment of their like internal angst. And for a while I was thinking to myself, people are kind of overreacting. It's probably not that they're putting themselves into the show. They're probably just not real good at what they're doing. No, it turns out that all of that was correct. They're actually just writing about themselves, which is the ultimate form of narcissism. And watching that scene, I just like, here it is. The little defense I had for the show kind of evaporated at that point.
How'd you go, ugh, when you saw that?
It was more like
It was more of a, ugh.
I picked the perfect place to watch
Is it? Is it?
I had it on my
asking too
cell
much?
phone at work on my desk while I was counting money. and then when I was just kind of listening to it.
That's what Disney does on a daily.
Felt like a
What
Disney
could have been
executive.
different? What could have been different about the show? Like, what could it? She had to.
Well, she shouldn't have jumped onto the fucking Disney Plus screen.
No, yeah, of course. That whole fourth wall.
I thought that was funny. That's what the comic used to do.
Yeah,
The comic
like
used to be her breaking the fourth wall and talking to you.
yeah, but not like that.
There was no streaming back then. There was none of that. So how would she be able to do that then?
Yeah, I think it would be more like what we saw in Deadpool, where she's just talking to the audience. I don't think it's a situation where you're going to do the ridiculous crap that we saw.
They were like this. How fucking ridiculous can we be?
she's just.
I don't know, dude. I mean, She-Hulk.
Deadpool does it good.
Yeah, the She-Hulk #1 cover, the one that John Byrne did with the what is it, that pinkish purplish background, she's straight up saying, all right, this is your second chance to go and buy my book. Buy it or we're going to destroy all the X-Men books if you guys don't. And then on the final issue of that series, on the cover, she says, all right, you guys goofed up again, so now we're destroying all the X-Men comics. So it's kind of that's just been the formula that they use in the comics for a long time. They always kind of did little goofy stuff. The whole jump rope cover that is kind of sought after now. Her jump roping within the pages because they wanted to like in the nude and things like that. So it's always been, the She-Hulk comics have kind of always been like that. I kind of thought it was a good little play, but I can kind of see
down
where those...
Santa. Did you guys ever see that one of her doming down Santa? That was
Jesus Christ. No.
She was on the naughty list.
Oh God. But yeah, see, thanks, genius. I lost my train of thought now.
It did strike me in the nostalgia feels though, the opener for that final episode where they were
yes,
called back
you gotta admit, Josh, that was a good opening.
Bill Bixby.
That was a good opening
I saw that and I was like, okay, there's somebody there that has at
You're
least
like
a
this.
couple of brain cells that they can rub
You're like,
together.
yes.
That was, yeah.
We're gonna make him happy. We're gonna make him happy, so that way they were just dragging,
stick around,
taking you up into the air, so they could drop
got a
you
Dwayne
down
Johnson
further.
eyebrow.
They fucking power bombed you through the table.
Because he started off like fuck this. They picked me up because I started off like fuck this show. I'm not even gonna watch it on my big screen. It's gonna be right here on my with an earbud on the side while I count money. And then it was like, and then all of a sudden everybody got together. The Hulk was there. I was like, oh shit, maybe I'll pay attention to this. And then she did her bullshit, and I was like, fucking 4.
Almost got me.
7.
I'm surprised nobody said anything about the non-gender specific, non-binary son that came out at the end. Wasn't that a little awkward?
Scar?
On Hulk. The
That
Hulk
was his
kid.
son, Scar.
Yeah, his name's Scar.
His name's
Scar.
Scar. Yeah.
Is it a he?
That's what we were saying.
Yeah, he
that
said he
came
was
out
a
with
he,
that,
didn't he?
with that
Guys,
haircut.
say what's
We're
up
like,
to my son, Scar.
I must have missed that part.
Yeah.
Is it a boy or a girl?
It's a dude.
It's a dude.
Yeah.
Maybe Mo caught something that we didn't catch.
Right?
Maybe I did.
Maybe Zur is a scar.
Like this.
Well,
Here is he,
think
she.
about what
We're still trying to figure out what he's what it's trying
He's
to.
not old enough to choose his own identity yet.
Think about what it means, though, that Mo is kind of the normie among us, and he watched it and was gender confused by Scar, and all of us kind of like import our previous knowledge, you know what I mean, into it, so we see Scar for what he is, but like regular people were confused by it, you know. That means that the show's not firing correctly.
I don't know, dude. At the end of what was it? Was it X-Men, where everybody was confused as hell as to who the hell? Like, there's been multiple times where at the end of like a movie, people were confused. Who the hell was that? Was that Mr. Sinister? Was that this? Was that that? So, you need to have some prior knowledge sometimes. Like, and I think in that instance, it was Apocalypse.
Right,
but they were calling him by
the question wasn't. The question wasn't what was his name, or you know, how was he related to the Hulk. The question is, what gender was he?
Okay, yeah, maybe now he looks like a guy now. Now that you pointed out.
Okay, so I was in space to pick up my son Scar. Say what's up, Scar. What up, motherfuckers? What up?
He was like, it's not a phase, really, Dad.
Hey, Josh, is that a Millennium Falcon by you?
That's the Lego one.
It is.
That's the legit Lego one?
No, this is plastic
one. Lego one.
Oh, is that like a Power of the Force or an OG one?
No. This is like the Power of the Force one.
That OG one would have came out a lot easier, and he wouldn't have had to use both hands.
Before all of my Star Wars dreams were utterly crushed.
So who's this kid's mother? Now I just got new questions. Shit.
Mom died.
The mom died?
We don't know how they're gonna do it.
Well, dude, if you're gonna give birth to a Hulk, that baby's gonna come out smashing.
In the comic, it's that queen, right, or that princess?
Yeah, it was that queen. That was his queen, because remember, she was originally his fucking like his guard who kept an eye on him when he was in the Hulk. When he was in Planet Hulk, when he was fucking a gladiator.
Yeah,
so
gladiator on that planet.
No, she wasn't in the comic. She wasn't a Valkyrie.
No, she wasn't.
It was the princess or the queen from that planet that he was on.
Of that planet, and she kept an eye on him because she was the most powerful warrior besides her.
She was the only one. Yeah, she was the only one that could kind of keep him.
The only one that could take his dick.
So they started hooking up after he finally like destroyed everybody in the fucking tournament, and he took over and he killed her father, and she like pledged herself to him, and they were fucking kicking ass. But when he decided he was finally going to come back to Earth, she was pregnant with the baby, and his homie Meek fucking didn't want him to leave, so he put a bomb on the plane, but Hulk didn't know that he did that, and he went to go do something. The fucking plane blew up, and she had the baby, and he had to keep an eye on the baby. And that's when Scar comes out and wants to fuck it up.
Which really sucks that we're never gonna get that story arc, because when the fucking Silver Surfer appears as one of the gladiators, it's fucking epic. Greg Pak killed it on that script.
Yeah. You have that omnibus, Steve?
I do. Oh, sorry.
Or you too?
I have the complete collection. It's the entire.
I have the actual.
I don't think it came out in an omnibus.
Yes,
did it come out in an omnibus?
Yeah,
yes, it did.
Oh shit! I need to get it then, because that's a good story right there.
It's already out of print. We're waiting for it to come back again.
Yeah, that one's a good one though too. But yeah,
I just the new ones that just got here last week was the not Blackest Night, but the other one, white
Friday's
one, Friday's Day. I got that one, and the second volume of Moon Knight. So I got to volume 1 and 2 of Moon Knight.
Or
are they gonna make a second season of Moon Knight on Disney? You think?
Yeah, they're making it right now.
They're making
that's
it right
a
now.
really good one. I like that.
Yeah, so volume 2 I have for Bill Chesky, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I just those 2 just came in right now. And
Sorry. What was the TV show, the Disney Plus series, true to the comics
I
on Moon
think,
Knight?
no,
I
No?
think it was. I think it was fantastic.
it's
It was
not.
good. I liked
no,
it, but
it's not true.
I know nothing.
No, they're
Nothing. Like,
Truth be told, they're
Mo
all
loved it, and that's all that matters.
No,
No.
truth be told, almost all the shows are kind of loosely based on comic book story arcs. They kind of mesh them together. They introduce characters that weren't technically in those story arcs, because you have to remember that Disney and Marvel don't necessarily own all the rights to a lot of the characters. They've had to slowly acquire them or reacquire them. I think Man-Thing was one of them, and Man-Thing, they just struck the deal 6 months ago. So that's why he came out in Werewolf by Night, because that they didn't own the rights for Man-Thing. So
Fuzzy says Moon Knight is garbage. It's weird. Fuzzy likes a lot of random stuff. It's like he has a dartboard and he throws a dart at the board to see what he thinks is garbage.
No, you'd be surprised. There's a lot of people that I talked to that didn't like Moon Knight.
I didn't really care for Moon Knight.
I mean, I thought it was good because I like Oscar Isaac, so maybe I was a little biased there. But
I mean, I don't want to say I
good.
didn't like it, but I didn't think it had enough Moon Knight in it.
No, I didn't like the whole it's another fucking kaiju battle at the end. It's like it became that, and it's like, really, you had so much more going for it that all of a sudden it's 2 giant monsters again fighting
It was
each other.
kaiju season when it came out. That's why. God damn.
Shut up.
do you think that these movies are made for people who don't know?
That's exactly what they're made for.
That's what they're made
That's
for.
what
Because
they're marketing for. Is
I
for the
found it
normies.
really good, and I know nothing of it.
Like I
I
said,
was disappointed by the inconsistencies from the comic books to the TV show.
Yeah, no. Like I said,
it's a little bit.
but see, they're gonna get our money regardless. They want people like Mo and guys that don't know anything about it, and they want to be able to pull them in. They already got us regardless if it's gonna be trash or not.
They have you already.
This is where
like this.
They want new people. They got our money from fucking issue 1. They need that guy because we're gonna still come because we have issue 1 and we want to see what happens, and we're gonna be pissed because it didn't happen the way we did. But this dude liked it, and he's never read a single book. So
I think that's
we won,
and that's good. And that's not saying there's anything wrong with that. But I think I always try to be the more okay. If you liked it, that's awesome. But you should also try reading some of the books, and then that's when we go into what would you recommend? Well, definitely Warren Ellis, Declan Shalvey's run on Moon Knight, that was fantastic. Bill Sinkovich's run, and so I think that's where we start when people see our discontent.
We got him even again.
But there's nothing wrong with them reading it. I think we need more comic book readers. That's definitely sure. As I think Liz and Josh would have to agree. You need more comic book readers so that they can come in, buy the books, and then they can formulate their own opinions after the fact. And if they still like the show, great. There's nothing wrong with that. I just said I wasn't ragging on it, but like I said, I like Oscar Isaac. I liked it. I was just disappointed that it was another giant monster battle. I thought they could have played that battle out much better. They didn't have to go giant
monsters. So what better way during the Godzilla?
What are you talking about? They have they did the same thing with Shang-Chi. They didn't have to have a giant kaiju battle. Also, they did the same thing with them.
Going against,
you have all these martial
it was
arts.
against King Kong versus Godzilla. It had to come out.
Oh my god! It's like you have these martial arts, and you have a mix of all these
Isaac's got jokes today.
What about when they do a kaiju battle? Isaac just likes kaiju. Isaac just likes to disagree with me. We're on the ride to Pasadena, and I'm like, oh, it'll be another 20 minutes. He says it's gonna be 25 minutes.
So another show that I like, Loki. What about Loki?
Loki was fantastic.
Loki was good.
That was so good.
Okay, and it's true to the
Loki was
and
terrible.
I can't pinpoint a comic that they were actually going off of. To be honest, there wasn't a comic that I was like,
they're
doing
doing their own thing.
Yeah, that one was
it
doing
did its own thing.
Yeah, Loki was a good show.
Lego says the ending of Moon Knight sucked. Fuzzy says,
what about Hawkeye?
Fuzzy says, preach it, Lego. That Fuzzy says Loki's garbage. Damn. Is there anything that we all like? There's not a thing that we all like or don't like.
We like House of Dragons.
House of the Dragon's fucking sick. We got to get there at the end.
I'll log off before that because I haven't watched it. I'm gonna log on and
What a
watch.
wiener.
Shut
what
up.
A loser.
God.
What a loser.
I was at Lightbox
loser.
Expo and then
What
I
a
had
loser.
other commitments. Sorry.
Fucking
Jeez.
throw in an earpiece and you watch on your fucking phone like I did
What
when
a
I was here. I was watching
loser.
WrestleMania.
Oh my god.
Fuck out of here with
Get
this.
out
This
of
is a
here,
loser in
loser.
the fucking corner watching WrestleMania.
I
with
don't
the
give a
earbud in
shit, dude.
instead
I'm gonna
of
watch
dancing.
it. Hey, I was watching it, eating food, looking around, and acting. Oh yeah, that was good.
Yeah. Goddamn loser.
Hey, who's talking?
Damn loser.
Goblins?
We should be able to do like what is it around the point type shit where we can mute the motherfucker. Like, hey, I'll give up 2 of my points to mute Sanchez up.
That's what people are here to listen to me, you know what I'm saying?
Actually, we took a survey and there was only one person that voted that they logged on for you, and I think that was you that voted for you.
No.
Oh shit.
Oh man.
What about Andor? Have you guys touched base on Andor already?
Where the Andor's next? Are we ready to get off of She-Hulk and go on to Andor?
Dude,
I'm not
yes.
done with her, but let me get off of her.
On to Andor, right? The filler that was last week. Looks like they finally got some meat on the bones of this last episode.
This
Went
episode was
somewhere.
great.
Yeah, went somewhere, had some action.
Dude, I was like so fucking, I couldn't keep it together. I was like, geez, what's gonna happen? Are they gonna make it? What's gonna go down? How are they gonna get down there?
I've never had my butt clenched so tight.
We all know that's a lie.
That's true. Only other time would be at San Diego Comic-Con with Steve Sanchez in the room.
Yeah, baby.
No,
Gotta
it was
clinch it
like
up.
this. It was like this.
Yeah,
It was a very good episode all around. On this one, like you said, Nate, the last one was that filler episode was but this one right here, it gave you action, it gave you betrayal,
Suspense.
people dying.
Not just some people,
gave
like
you everything.
fucking practically everybody died.
Yeah, fucking, it was good.
I really liked
man.
the visual effects of that. What they were talking about. I really thought that was a really
Because they
well
was there with the pilgrims crying too.
Yeah, it's like watching Kul Khan descend the pyramid of Chichen Itza. It was beautiful.
You mean Namor?
Namor.
Exactly.
God.
Have you seen that new
New trailer?
the new trailer for it where he introduces himself as Namor? I was like, oh
Jesus
shit.
Christ.
He introduced himself as Namor.
Jesus
I'm glad you mentioned that
Christ.
because I wanted to come back and talk to you guys about it. Oh my god.
Let's not jump to fucking name. Let's finish this and then talk
It's
about that.
Namor puto.
Oh my god. Oh, so horrible.
I want more of Namor.
Oh,
You better be careful because that's what I'm going to dress up for Halloween. I need a tight set of Speedos.
Jesus Christ. He's gonna be called Gordo.
I'm going to have a farmer's tent and everything. They're going to say, no more, no more.
Buzzy says, aren't you dressed like him now?
Hey, are you outside my window?
Good shit. But yeah, Andor was good. I like how it ended. It was like, holy shit. How did
I didn't see that coming.
How did he get back with them then? That's what
Manifesto.
Wow.
He took the kids' manifesto.
Oh yeah. I forgot.
Yeah, but shooting that dude and then said, "Here, I'm taking all this cash."
The
I'm
dealer
out.
doesn't know. The dealer doesn't know what's going on. Remember, he cut communication with them 2 days before the heist went down. He only heard about the completion after the meetings were being called that there had been a robbery.
I like
So
how
that's
the
how-
Empire's like, nobody's going home. Fucking everybody call your family, tell them you ain't making it to anywhere. We need to get this
Yep.
locked down. And it's like, oh fuck.
Homegirl
Yeah.
was telling him.
To go.
Homegirl was
Yeah,
fucking
I was
telling
gonna
him.
say, I'm
Hey.
so
Homegirl
glad
was
you brought that
telling him.
up because I like that homegirl we kept bringing it up and nobody was listening to her. And she said, what was that line she said? It's too random to be random.
Yeah,
Yeah. She's a good strategist, you can tell. So I think maybe this next half is gonna be like a fucking chess game between her and this the dude that's planning
one dude
everything.
Yeah.
So that's real interesting, dude. I really like that. It's gonna end up being because they're gonna give her a lot more resources because then they're gonna say, yeah, you were right, we fucked up, and then it's gonna end up being a chess game because you can tell she's really good at her job.
And that's
dude,
when
I feel bad for the
they're gonna
kid.
put in
though.
that Patriot Act. It's just like 9/11. Those guys that were talking about bin Laden and then they got attacked and they're like, fuck, you're right. We should listen to you. Let's do the Patriot Act. Make everybody register. It's going
But
down.
they already did that in Civil War.
No, but we're fucking in Star Wars, idiot.
You can also see where, when they went back to the Senate and Moth was talking to the Senate, how like nobody is got the balls to stand up to anything that's going on right now.
Well, nobody
The
was
universe at this
paying
point.
attention.
Well, the people
was
who
like
were
the-
paying
it was-
attention,
it
they
was like
turned
the
around
real
and
Senate,
bailed.
Yeah, everybody was leaving as she was talking.
Yeah, I mean,
All
half the
those
discs were empty.
spots. I
Yeah,
remember when the Emperor was talking, everybody was on their fucking feet.
That's how Liberty
Yeah.
died, right?
I mean,
Thunderous
Yeah.
applause.
so with Andor, I want to say two
It's
positive
Andor.
things before I say anything negative. So first of all, I did appreciate the fact that there was like some actual tension. I did notice especially for that last episode that I was pretty wrapped up tight, like waiting for the next thing to happen. And that's a sign of a good show that it's causing anxiety. And also I appreciated, because this is something that we haven't really had for a long time, is the portrayal of the Empire as like competent and ruthless. Usually we get them portrayed as clowns, something to be laughed at and mocked and everything like that. But this is kind of a return to the originals where the Empire is actually lethal and they're
Brutal.
regimented and I appreciated that fact. It came across well. My two problems remain. Number one, we know where Cassian Andor ends up, so there's never a real threat for him. We don't know what happens to the other characters, but Andor has plot armor. Whatever, he could jump out into the middle of space through the airlock, and he's going to make it. So
Mary Poppins style.
yeah. So that's one of the difficulties with doing prequels to something that was popular, is that you're going to end up having characters that are basically indestructible. And the other thing is that there's no Jedi. This is Star Wars. Jedi is
I'm still fine
intrinsic
with
to
that.
it.
I'm
I want to
still good with
see at least something. I
I'm
just
good with that.
I want something, like, even if it's in the background, a little reference here, something, but we get nothing. So
I would say it's coming. I think they're not trying to rush it. I think it will eventually lead. I think all roads are going to lead to that. Obviously, that's where the whole Jedi, and I think there will be references of it. But to your point about having plot armor, I mean, yes, that's true. But anybody who watched like, for example, Better Call Saul, like you knew that Saul was eventually going to meet Walter White in Breaking Bad, and so you were kind of like, okay, well, we know where he's going to end up. But I think part of what made that show great was just watching that journey. And there was a lot of instances where, even though you knew nothing was going to happen to Saul, like he hasn't met Walter White yet. And Breaking Bad takes place 5 years after that, after those events. I can't tell you how many times I was like, holy hell, holy shit, like, damn. And I was tripping, like, fuck, is that going to happen? And obviously, like, you know, I'm aware of that. I'm aware of the plot armor, but I think that's just what good writing does, and I think that that's what these guys
Sure.
might be trying to do. And I
just-
think eventually
I-
we will cross paths with something of the Jedi, because I think he has to. I don't know. I think not reading the manifesto may not be the only reason why he decides to join or return. I think there has to be something else, and who knows what that something else might be. And I think that's what I'm more interested in, is seeing what are the reasons that a person becomes a revolutionary. You know, why does he become? Because yes, at first he went back to his initial instinct of survival once he realized that what their true intentions were. That's why he shot him and killed him. He says, really? So there was no. So it's almost like he got angry because it was almost like he was falling for it. Like he was like, oh shit, maybe these guys are gonna change something. But then once he realized that a-hole was in it for the money and that he played him, he got pissed and killed him. So I think now I think now the story's gonna be, well, how does he go from being? How does he change his mind? And that's what I'm interested in.
You want to see Andor's transition from goon to henchman, right?
Exactly.
As Daredevil put it. So, and I agree. I think the show is written well. I think it's being executed well. It's getting better over time. I just think that when the plot armor thing is involved, you're taking a show that could be like a 9 down to like a soft 8 or a hard 7, because at the end of the day, there's no threat to that character. Yes, you get to find out, you know, what motivates him and how he got to where he ends up, but it's just like that part of the tension is missing. It's the same reason why I don't think that even the original Wonder Woman in the DC cinematic universe, while it's a great movie, it's not like the top tier, because we already know where Wonder Woman ends up. We know that she makes it. So there's never really any threat to her, even when she faces the God of War.
Wouldn't that same logic point back to Captain America?
Well, when we saw the first Captain America movie, we hadn't seen the Avengers yet, so we didn't know. Technically.
Well, that's what I never liked. I didn't really enjoy Solo because he had that armor.
Right.
I didn't watch Solo because of what Isaac said. They got our dollars and we're gonna go do it anyways. They pissed me so fucking bad with The Last Jedi that I did not. I was like, Solo could have been the best fucking Star Wars movie. I didn't fucking pay them any money for that movie. I was like, no. Like,
hey, same.
All I can.
No, I didn't pay
to watch it.
I watched it on one of these.
Yeah, I watched it streaming.
But I didn't pay for it.
That was when, like, The Last Jedi. I think it was the last time. Not The Last Jedi. The Force Awakens was the last time. I have a million Star Wars DVDs and CDs and VHSs and all that shit. And it goes all the way up to that episode 7. I'd say loosely, with the fucking butt clinch tighter than Jose's. And and that's it. That's where my shit stops. It's just like, all right, you don't want my dollars for this anymore. And then the other one, that their episode 9, when that came out, it was like, fuck, dude. I don't think I watched that one either in the theater. I waited for that one to come out, and I was all PTSD'd. It was like, okay, I found out my dad's a crackhead now. I'm afraid to go watch the next one to see what they have on my mom. Like, fuck.
I never realized how many Star Wars movies they have. So according to this, Andor is before Rogue One, which I haven't seen Rogue One, but it's after Obi-Wan Kenobi and after Solo, the one you were just mentioning that you didn't want to go see, that I haven't seen. The Bad Batch.
It's actually not bad.
So do I have to watch The Bad Batch and Solo to understand Andor?
No.
Once Andor's over, you could watch Rogue One.
There you go.
Do I have to?
You don't have to.
Rogue One is the best. Rogue One is the best one from all the new movies.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's the best non-original trilogy movie.
All right.
But yeah, watch Andor first. Since you haven't watched Rogue One.
I will. So where after
What have you seen, Moses?
nothing? I
You've
added
never
it
seen
to
a Star
my-
Wars movie?
Oh no, I've seen part 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6.
Don't
Obi-Wan
watch 7, 8,
Kenobi.
9.
No, not 7, 8, or 9.
Don't watch it.
Don't waste your time. Waste the
Or
time.
8 and 9, I mean, sorry. I saw The Mandalorian.
Yeah, Mandalorian's good. Keep watching that.
Yeah. Boba Fett was shit. I didn't like that.
That's correct.
Yeah, that is correct.
Mandalorian episodes on that show were good.
All right.
Yeah, the one episode. Yeah.
There was 2 episodes that had him.
Yeah,
The
the last
Was it
two.
last
the
2
last 2.
episodes.
Yeah, but the last one was BS, where the two of them are basically blasted in the middle of the streets. It's garbage.
There's a lot of fucking stars. So what is what is Solo?
Han Solo's story.
It's his
Okay.
origin.
It's where they retcon Lando Calrissian into a guy that fucks robots.
That happens?
Yeah.
That's wild.
Sort of. It's implied.
That's wild.
I mean, that kind of makes him even more badass when you think about
I
it.
am C3PO.
It does not.
He turned it into C3PPO. EPO.
Yeah.
Translate this guy.
It's actually 8 equals capital D.
Shove this in your voice box.
Type it in like 8 equals capital D.
That calculator shit, like boobies.
Yeah.
Or I guess,
It's an older code, sir, but it still checks out.
right?
I was about to let them through. Oh, good times. Good times. So we were talking about it, Moses and Josh and I, before you guys got on, that we've been picking up numbers on this stream since we've been talking about these few shows, for good or for bad, as we're going through it. And oh, I see. Jose's text came through. I get what it is now.
Yes, that old fucking calculator fucking jokes that you would do.
Anyway, we've got one more episode of
How-
Hot D. One more episode of Hot D and several more of Andor. We're gonna have to shift into some other stuff as we're doing this. Is there another? What's the next property coming up that we can shift into? Because we're gonna have to figure something out, because Board of the Rings and She-Hulk's gone now, so we gotta pick up something.
What about Miss Marvel? No, I'm kidding. I'm joking.
No, we want it to be relevant and current. Miss Marvel, even though it's from this year, it's
I
not
know.
current. Plus, it
And
falls
it's
in
not
the
good.
it falls in the I'm not gonna watch that shit box. I've been doing some a little show on the channel called Netflix and Chill with Mo, where we've been looking for at least during this season a new Halloween release, and then we've been reviewing those. We did Hellraiser, and we did the Midnight Club, and then today we did, what was it called again, Mo?
Oh, fucking that horrible movie that you made me watch, Grim Cuddy.
Grim Cuddy.
Cuddy.
That horrible movie you made me watch. I remember that.
You know, 93 minutes of my life just wasted on that.
Wait,
Don't
Oh,
watch
dude,
it.
that's
Did
part
you
of hanging out with
guys
this
go-
group, dude.
Did
Yeah,
you go
yeah.
back and Did you go back and watch Hellraiser again, Nate?
No, they watched the new one.
Oh. Okay.
They remade it. They had a remake with the gender swapped Pinhead.
With the chick Pinhead now.
Hey, was she
Right.
hot?
Hey, did she show any booby? With pins in it?
You know, the top of her head looked like a nipple, kind of with it piercings, but you know, she was I'm a pervert. I'll take her.
Fuck her the party.
Yeah. They used to call me Power Ranger, man. I'll battle any demon. It don't matter. Do it.
He called
Come
me
down
the
to the
big
lair.
boy, sick in head.
Yeah.
You're not really
She'll probably
battling
run
those
out.
demons
She'll
though.
be
You're
like,
lying
what the
down.
fuck is wrong with this demented? It was good though. I liked it. It was real good.
He liked it more than I did.
Yeah.
He got 6 buckets from me. I don't know. It seemed there wasn't any virtue in the protagonist. They were trying too hard to make her be modern. And then by the time as you're seeing, she's not the one she's no Kirsty. Because Kirsty lives through the Cenobites because she has purity and she wears white and she's a virgin and all that good stuff. This bitch, she's no virgin. Everybody fucking hates her. Like, she made all her homies die. Like, she's a piece of shit, dude, if she lived. So, like, it was trying too hard to be a movie of this time, in my opinion. But you can, if you guys are interested in what we said about Hellraiser, you guys can take a look at that on the channel. It's been within the last 5 that we've dropped. But we're going to be doing one on Grim Cuddy. We filmed it earlier today. It'll go out this week, and I'm just looking for the newer movies. Not shows as much. Shows is more like for all of us to get together and do the live stream. But in fact, we did the Midnight Club. It actually was a show. It probably would have been good for us to do here, but we had already got into it, so it's not bad. It was part of the Flanagan universe. Flaniverse. He's the guy who made the House on Haunted Hill a couple years ago, and the Midnight, not the Midnight Club. What was that one?
Midnight Mass.
Midnight Mass, yeah, with the preacher that was a vampire, yeah. So this is like the fourth consecutive Halloween series that he had come up with, and they're all pretty good.
Oh,
Right.
he's on Netflix.
You guys know that there was a Groot little short? There was Groot shorts on Disney Plus.
Yes, but I
No.
haven't watched it.
They were like 5-minute long. There was 5 of them,
Are they done?
and they're 5 minutes long.
Have they all come out?
They all came out already.
Let's try to take a look at that before next week. We could talk about it.
I am Groot.
I thought you're Isaac.
I am Groot.
Hey, another movie that's part of the Flaniverse is pretty old though. Is Ouija board. Ouija, original origin of evil.
Ojo?
Ouija.
Good one.
Jai. Oh, they had that. What was it? I just watched the one with the
Before I
Marlon
wake.
Wayans family Halloween movie where the Halloween decorations come to life in their
A
town.
haunted house.
Actually, my kids liked it. They were like watching it again. They do shit like that. They like it and they
Oh
watch
my,
it over and
don't be
over
a
again.
menace to
South Central while
menace
drinking your
to
juice in the
Central
juice in
while
the hood.
drinking your hood in the hood.
You drinking your juice in the hood?
Yeah, have them watch that one. Message.
All right, I think we've been sitting on it long enough. Second to the last episode dropped. House of the Dragon. So good. So good. Oh my God. Say Jose cut out.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
was gonna cut out
temporarily.
because he hadn't watched it, remember?
Okay. House of the Dragon.
It was good, man.
So they're going to find Aegon because
No, let's back it up. She goes to tell them that he's dead, only to find out they've been plotting this and how they were gonna steal the fucking throne, regardless of what he was gonna. Even if that wasn't his last breath to throw Aegon, they were already ready to fight Rhaenyra for fucking the crown.
yeah, it's they're like, oh hey, you came
Oh.
up with some bullshit too. You could be in on it.
Hell yeah. His last breath, get the fuck out of here, really. And then the old dude was just like, fuck.
Yeah, I knew he was gonna say that.
No, you guys can't do this. This isn't how it goes. And then all of a sudden, shut the fuck up, old man. head to the marble out. But yeah, that was wild, dude. Just that scene alone with the whole just the plotting and the fucking
All those damn snakes.
Yeah, every single snake, and they already had everybody in place to what they had to do, and then they started imprisoning everybody that was in the fucking castle.
That
Everybody on lockdown.
if you were against Aegon, then I guess you're going to prison.
Not like that old guy who tried to escape.
Oh,
He was standing up and he bent the knee at the last minute. They opened up the gates, and right when he's getting ready to bail, fucking took his ass and hung him.
He stood up too long. He stood up too long.
When they bring you to the chambers, you should just be in there with your knee bent.
Yeah.
You shouldn't even be standing in the first place.
Fuck that. I'm with you with your fingers crossed behind your back.
Yeah.
Little rascal
I'm
style.
with you 100%. Do, do, do. Fucking Alfalfa got his.
Yeah. So
And then that the limpy guy
Fucking jerking off to her feet.
to her feet. And I was like,
No,
bro,
I like it. I like that they foreshadow it because they show his little fucking crooked foot. I thought he was a Kaiser Sozak that shit, but that was just foreshadowing.
I still think he might Kaiser Soze that
think
shit.
he's gonna
Dude.
do that shit too? Because
I
was
wouldn't.
feeling like he was gonna do that. But they zoom into his feet, and all of a sudden she turns and she puts her feet up, and you're just like, oh, so that's how he gets his rewards. And like he's talking, and he stops, and she has to take off the little stockings, and he goes back into his speech, telling her everything he needs to know. And then he's like, all right, I said everything I gotta say. Now turn around and let me jerk off to that.
like, this guy really likes feet.
Those
bro.
little bad piggies.
I was like, damn, that's what turned you on, bro? Fuck. No
Dude,
wonder
that guy murdered his fucking brother and dad, dude. This guy's a sicko.
Burned him alive.
Took motherfuckers' tongues and ate them. Some Jeffrey Dahmer shit going on in there.
See that show?
Hey, did you guys watch that one? The Jeffrey Dahmer
Yeah,
flick?
see that? That
No.
was crazy.
That's what we should do next time. Just watch an episode a week for the meantime. That shit's relevant as fuck right now.
Chucky's out too.
Oh yeah, Chucky. Well, it's season 2.
Season 2, yeah.
What channel is Chucky on?
Sci-fi.
It's on
Or Hulu, I think.
no, it's on
Amazon.
no. It's
Peacock.
on Peacock.
No, it's not on Peacock, is it?
No. Yeah, you can get it on Peacock the next day, or you can watch it on USA the same day.
There we go, USA. So yeah, they're on
USA or Peacock.
They're
Are those free?
fucking-
Peacock is not. You gotta get a subscription, and USA you have to have cable, but you can get like free episodes if you get credit points and shit like that. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not like the cord's cut, dude. I got my. You guys are still paying for cable. That's glorious.
I'm not.
It's only like
cable.
$15 with Comcast or Spectrum or whatever it is. American Horror Stories coming out next week.
There you go.
Oh, there you go.
The short stories, right?
No, the
not
short stories ended.
That
Oh,
one
Short
sucked.
stories already
yeah.
came and went. Yeah,
Shit, where have I been?
Did you see that? American Horror Stories?
I watched them.
It was fucking horrible. That was the worst fucking following I've ever done, man. It was shit show. Don't watch it. Don't spend your time on that. The last one was probably the best one, just like on season 1. But the rest of them they weren't scary. They made no sense. They were just inconsistent with horror. They had nothing to do with horror.
Junk.
Yeah. Now, American Horror Story, that's a different story. It's different. That's good shit. Since season, well, maybe season, the one with the witches was not that good. I think that was season 7 or something.
So what's the next show for Disney Plus that's coming out?
Well, you know what? We abandoned House of the Dragon, dude. That's our fucking channel.
Oh yeah, my
Funny.
bad.
I like how we did that.
Fuck, we're off on the next page, dude. So
Rabble, rabble, rabble.
fucking the queen that never was could have just fucking ended it, dude. She didn't end
Then the
it.
show would be over.
Yeah, but the good guys would have won. But are they the good guys?
I was gonna say, are they the good guys though? They're all fucking scumbags in their own way.
Everybody's well. You know what though?
Well, you could tell how Aegon is a fucking scumbag.
Oh, that dude's a fucking
Dude, that dude.
Jeffrey. That's Joffrey.
He has his own kids fighting in the cage in those fucking cages and shit in the on that pit.
In the underground pits.
On the underground, his fucking kids are fighting.
His bastards.
Yeah. Oh, that's fucking nuts. They
Sharpen
shave
their teeth
nails
and fucking
their
nails.
teeth.
That shit was brutal, man. At first, I was like, what are they doing in there? That's fucking gross. And then they started fighting. I was like, Jesus Christ.
Nobody talks
Cock
about it
fighting
because
to
you
a
can't
whole
talk
new
about
level.
Fight Club.
And they fucking I remember I heard a story in the news once about a fucking daycare that started a kids fucking fight club with the toddlers and shit and got shut down. I was like, wow, what would that look like? Fucking fast forward to this show and I'm like, damn, that's fucking brutal. How would you just sit there and watch these children beat the shit out of each other? That's nuts.
Well, if you're drunk and start gambling, there you go.
These people were working at a daycare center.
That's where they got their gambling funds.
Fucking A. Jesus Christ.
The kids' parents paid for them to gamble.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but like Aegon is just fucking. He's the
I like how the
worst.
two brothers, the two twins that went to go find him, one was for it and the other one was like, man, fuck that guy. I don't want that guy to be my king.
Yeah, they split the twins. That's crazy. It was
And then the brother, what's the brother's name? The one eye patch kid.
Amond.
Yeah, he wants to be the fucking king. I thought he was gonna cut his throat when he was
Dude,
holding him.
Yeah,
Amond,
but
he's just like the second coming of Damon.
He's
Yeah.
his brother. He already knows his brother's a scumbag, so he's like he wants to be the king, but it's like, oh well, gotta wait.
Yeah, but he's the one that took the big dragon from the Valerians.
Yeah, he's gangster, dude.
I think
Yeah,
it looks
I
like
mean,
in the next episode, it looks like Damon's gonna try to take it back.
I think
Good luck with that.
Damon's going for a different dragon.
Okay, it's not that one.
It's not that one. He's just looking for he wants to trade in his dragon for one
His old beater for a newer model. Yeah, but the way for this to end with her just fucking tearing shit up and going, look at me. I got my dragon. I could fucking end all you right now. But you know what? Let's go to war, motherfuckers. Boom. I think that's more badass than fucking just taking them all out. May the best warriors win. And the two fucking bastards, they're gonna die in this next episode. We're gonna see those two guys get murked by,
Oh yeah.
by their cousin.
Oh
The
yeah.
cousin's gonna murk them both. They're both gonna take him on, and he's gonna fucking chop both their heads off.
I think he's gonna take one of them out.
No, I think he's gonna take them
I'm gonna
both
take
out.
both
Why?
of them out.
I think he's gonna take them both out just to show how badass he is. Poor little bastards didn't even see it coming.
There's a
He'll
bunch
take,
of them.
he'll take those two out, but he won't take. I doubt he'll take Damon's kids out.
Oh no, Damon's kids.
He's not like, nah, I ain't gonna fuck with that.
Well, they're half sea snake and half fucking Targaryen. They're like fucking. Those girls are.
No, I'm talking about the new kids.
Oh, the new, yeah, but they're not even. They're little
They're
yet.
not old enough yet.
Yeah, but I'm saying he could still kill them if he wanted to. He could do a fucking Luke Sky, fucking
Anakin.
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 He's pretty gangster, dude. Well, that's the mistake you don't want to do with this is start trying to figure out who the good guy and who the bad guy is, because it's never black and white with them.
You know what's wild about this show is that it seems like every director and writer was a chick in this series. Did you notice that?
No.
That the majority of the directors were all women. And this came out fantastic.
Well, I gotta say,
What the fuck is Marvel doing?
good. I know, what is Marvel doing? Because these girls are kicking some ass.
Yeah, Disney's
it's
more
just-
woke than HBO or
That's right. That's
Amazon.
exactly right.
Yeah,
Well,
that's what
HBO's
it is.
been
Disney has to
HBO's
pander to
always
the
pushed
crowd.
the envelopes on everything.
Disney wants everything to be gay, and HBO is trying to make a good show.
Yeah, that's all it is. They don't care who's writing or what. They just want to make a good show.
And they even did their like House of the Dragon, because Game of Thrones there wasn't too much diversity, but what diversity that they do have in this universe makes sense. Like, did we talk about this before? How when you watch Board of the Rings right now, and they're just got all these random black elves and but on at least on House of the Dragon, like the Dothrakis, damn, I can't even talk. They're all like Samoan, and the Valerians are black, and the people from Dorne are Mexican. So at least you get racial consistency with the realms that they come from.
Right.
And it's got diversity in a way that is not preachy and it makes sense.
Yeah, but let's not give them a complete pass, because in the books the Valerians are white people, so it's not completely free, but at least it's more consistent.
Spoken like a jaded geek.
I'm just saying you gotta acknowledge it when you see it. But I'm with you. You know, in the Rings of Power, like the thing that was really stupid, those ridiculous hobbits that they have in there. Like there's Asian hobbits and black hobbits, like in the same family. You know what I mean? It's like, how did that happen? How is mom black and the kids are like totally white? What's going on here? It doesn't make
During
any
the
sense.
fuck fest,
There's
dude. It's during the
there's no
fuck fest
consistency.
of the mating of the hobbits, when they just get in the hobbit hole and they all just start piling on top of each other. Somebody
So
get
what you're
Hobbits
saying is the
fuck
kids
fest.
are
Yeah.
the kids are from the milkman. Got it.
Yeah. Sorry. It was during the annual Hobbit orgy. It was a
I guess
cold
the elves have
it was a
orgies,
cold
too.
winter, and we all just decided to cuckold each other.
Rub feet to keep warm and get carried away.
His furry foot touched mine. Fucking hobbits. But yeah, next episode it's gonna be a bloodbath
Oh yeah.
or a char burger, whichever, we'll see.
It's a bummer too. It's like, dude, I want to see it, But then it'll be
that's it.
done. But
And
then
then
it's
you have to-
done for a
You have to wait
fucking
another year or maybe
For-
2.
Is it?
That was the great thing about the GOT was when I got into it, it was 2 weeks before it was ending, and I saw all 9 seasons in 2 weeks, and I got to the finale, and I was like, man, this was the best 2-week series I've ever seen. Everybody hated it, but I fucking loved it because I saw it coming. It was a great series for 2 weeks that I binged it. I don't know what everybody else was complaining about, but
Did you get the feeling that Daenerys was evil the entire
I
time?
was seeing it. It was progressively happening as she was from the beginning of how she was treated to how she was starting to see that people weren't really on her side and they were using her. She was just like, fuck everybody, dude. I'm gonna murk all these motherfuckers. Watch. And she did. It was good. I don't know how you guys didn't see it coming. I should have watched it in 2 weeks instead of fucking 9 years.
I didn't watch it for 9 years. I was like, I'm gonna say 5 years. I did the 5-year binge, and then the last 4 years I was dragging.
Yeah, and you had to wait 2 years for that ending. I waited 20 minutes.
Yeah, I bounced on that show after season 3. I was like, this is bullshit.
See, this guy messed up. He missed all the good parts. And
Nah,
one thing I
miss
didn't
it.
like was that as the seasons progressed, the clothing on her was getting more and more on and less off.
So Liz's brother made mention to me that the thing that really demonstrates why House of the Dragon is so excellent is because all of the Game of Thrones fans that were like rage quitting because of the final 2 seasons, everybody loves House of the Dragon. So if you can bring back a fan base that you basically took a big fat dumper on, that means you're doing something right.
Right?
Yep.
So
But
take
take
notice, Star Wars.
may bear something else out. Ugh.
We don't want to not like these things.
Right, that's right.
It's a good series so far. And how many more? One more episode, right? Or 2?
Yes, sir. One more.
One more.
One more.
Yeah, one more. And then it's Halloween.
Then there's nothing, right?
Did you watch the new Halloween movie?
I hear it's really awesome.
I've heard that it's so bad.
Yeah, I've heard
Everywhere.
bad things about it too.
Everywhere, it's just like everyone's just saying, "What the fuck did they do?" I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on.
Is it streaming?
Yeah, it's on. I think Peacock.
Jamie Lee
For maybe
Curtis
another day or 2.
is way too old, man. This is like watching like Indiana Jones movies, like where he's just like this grandpa and he could barely walk, and you're like,
Dun, 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 dun. Ah.
I know. He's not going to be
Harrison Ford doing icy hot
water.
commercials and shit. When I go on an
Fucking,
adventure in archaeology, I use icy hot.
And then there's Jamie Lee Curtis when I'm being chased. I'm no longer being chased. I need to eat my Activia so I can take a shit. You're just like, what? The final girl
Yeah.
can't shit properly anymore.
Yeah.
Too many candy corns.
So are we just not talking about Rings of Power anymore? Is that like not a thing?
The rings of boredom.
We could
I don't
talk.
know who watches it.
Just
I
you
don't
and
watch
me,
it.
Josh. We could talk about Bordor.
Last week, Nate was getting ready to go, all right, guys, so let's talk Rings of Power. And everyone's just crickets. He's like, fuck, I hope the Scots are still watching it with me.
Yeah.
What's up, Bordor, man?
So
They made rings.
Somebody just
say
jumped
something.
in the chat right now. Was like, worst Halloween ever.
Let me.
Was it worse than? Okay, wait, really quick. I'm sorry, Josh. I'm so
Sure.
sorry.
No, go for it. Go for it.
Okay, worst Halloween ever. That's from Sea Dog. Oh, Sea Dog. Sea Dog's on here. What's up, Sea
It's my
Dog?
boy Sea Dog, huh?
Sea Dog says that's the other bad neighbor, Mo's homie. All right,
Yeah,
so that's
yeah.
the worst Halloween ever. Was it worse than fucking Silver Shamrock? Because Season of the Witch was fucking horrible.
Number 3 got a cult following that I don't fucking understand
Oh my god,
because I hated that fucking
it
movie.
was so bad.
When I watched it, I was like, what the fuck did I just watch? I was so excited for it. And when it came out, I was just like, yeah, they just shit it all over it. I didn't get it. I don't know how people want to buy merchandise for that movie.
Brutal. It was horrible. We'll see.
We'll
We'll give
wait
him a
for his
chance to
response.
respond.
Go ahead, Josh.
Yeah, yes, thank you. Bordor, you were saying.
So let me say something good about the show before I unleash. The one character that I wanted to see more of and understand more of was ANDOR, the father of the orcs. You know, he's an elf from the first age that had been twisted and corrupted by Morgoth, and he is the one who is the progenitor of the orc race. All of those orcs that are there are literally his children, right? His descendants. And I found that fascinating because we knew from the Jackson trilogy that they mentioned that the origin of the orcs. Saruman tells that to the Uruk-hai, whom he had recently created, that the elves were twisted by the dark powers and turned into orcs. And I never had considered that the first orcs would still look a lot like elves, still resemble the original race from which they came. And so I just found that character fascinating, and I would have liked to actually see a good deal more of it. Maybe we will in season 2 because they're already in production on that shit.
They are actually making that?
Yes, they are.
They're
Yes,
still
they are.
going?
Yes, they're going to make
What
another
the
season.
fuck? I thought they lost money, but then again, it's fucking Amazon, so they got billions. They could just shit it out, no problem.
Yeah, they're going to ship like 3 days worth of stuff and pay for it. So,
hey, that's wild.
so
Have you seen Bezos lately? Bezos
No.
he divorced his wife. He's fucking ripped. Like all of a sudden, he's like fucking ripped.
Just
he's back.
shooting up
He's back on the
steroids?
market, son. He's
Dude.
back on the market.
Nah, he's drinking baby's bloods or some shit like that, right?
Hell yeah,
Yes.
embryo.
Yep.
Me, Gene Hackman.
So
Fucking
now
orc makeup.
onto the terrible stuff about this show. One of the things that's bothered me for the entire season is that they get like distances wrong. The Numenorians, they leave Numenor, and like on day 2 they hit the shore, and then like 2 hours later they're riding up into Mordor. I was like, what the F is this?
There was
That's
3
not-
movies
that
for them
doesn't-
to get here.
Yes, and the other it happened.
Wasn't that the?
It happened early in the show too, when Elrond and Celebrimbor walk to the mines of Moria from Lindon. That's like hundreds of miles, and just the two of them taking a freaking stroll down to the 7-Eleven. You know what I mean? It's like right around the corner. It's ridiculous. And then I'm guessing you guys didn't watch like the last episode, but I don't know if you remember from the Peter Jackson trilogy, like the very beginning of the Fellowship of the Ring, when Galadriel is giving the narrative of how the rings of power were made.
Yeah.
And it shows the 3 rings that were given to the elf lords, and they're like all ornate and fucking like really detailed and like, just interwoven and all this crazy stuff. And then they showed the 3 elven rings at the end of this show, and it looks like some fucking rings from
Cracker
Jossie.
Jacks.
It's so dumb. It's so bad. It's like I was like, really? This is. I mean,
You can't get the rings. You can't get a replica rings.
they have the rights to the Jackson trilogy. So my question is, why didn't you just go get the freaking props, dude? Wait, did they disappear? Did somebody
Somebody
just
probably
remake
fucking-
them?
I was gonna say
Oh
somebody
my God.
fucking stole them.
It was
Even if
so
somebody
cheap.
stole them, dude, nerds remake shit. Like there's some guy at Comic-Con who's got
I was
the
gonna say
fucking
that
ring.
just go to fucking Comic-Con and pick up one of those rings while they were fucking out there.
Yeah. I mean, it's like these people aren't even trying. They're not even trying. And that, I think that's really what irritates me the most, is that whatever this show is, it's like the maximum amount of like no effort whatsoever. It's like a high school kid trying to give a speech in front of the class, and he's just to put in a bunch of fluff language that doesn't have anything to do with anything. He already had his like premise and his conclusion in the first paragraph, and so he's just droning on to make the time frame. It is a disappointing show on so many levels. What a chore. Fuck.
Tell us how you really feel.
And Halbrand being Sauron, what a dumb reveal that was. I was expecting it to be, okay, maybe it's Adar, maybe it's the, not Gandalf, Meteor Man or whatever. No, it's fucking Halbrand. Who cares?
Is it
It's
not
like,
Gandalf?
Well, okay. We don't know who it is. It's one of the wizards, right? He gets identified as one of the Istari at one point, which is what the 5 wizards are, including Gandalf. So it could be any of them. But the thing is in the lore, Gandalf doesn't appear till the 3rd age. This is the 2nd age. It's too early, but they're not really following the lore, so who the frick knows? And the thing with Sauron is when he helped Celebrimbor in the book, when he helps Celebrimbor make the rings, Sauron had appeared as an elf instead of some dirty, unwashed man that literally got fished out of the sea by the Numenorian. It's just dumb. It's dumb on every level. It's irritating and stupid and poorly acted and ridiculous dialogue. I mean, if I hear the word "okay" in the show one more damn time, I'm gonna break my TV in half.
Okay.
That's not in the show though. Like every character in the show is like saying like "okay." How many times did you hear the word "okay" in the Jackson trilogy? The answer is 0, because that's would break the lore. It'd be like them talking about cell phones or something.
He called me on me mobile device.
Yeah. Not a Palantir.
How do we
it's a
get to
Nokia.
Mordor? Let me
Yeah.
get it on me ways.
Yeah, no Palantir. It's Nokia. It's a bad show from top to bottom, and it's staggering that they have the ability to make something good and they just don't do it. That they're not even trying.
And as evidenced by House of the Dragon, it can be done.
Right.
The fan base
Not just done, but done to draw in people that were embittered to like make it better. Yeah.
Did
Stuff
anyone
like this.
watch Hitmonkey?
Huh?
There was the Marvel Hitmonkey animated series on Hulu.
Hitmonkey?
no.
All about that.
So what were your thoughts on Rings of Power, Nate?
I cannot sit here and lie to you and say I'm anywhere near as big of a fan as you were. Like I know who Gandalf was and Frodo and Samwise and like Sauron. I'm just trying to think of names of people that I could name, because like when you go on your tangent, it's like holy shit. Whenever I feel bad about being a nerd, I just got to get on here and listen to you talk about Lord of the Rings, and I'm like, all right, I'm cool. because I don't know anywhere near.
The scary thing, Nate. The scary thing is I don't know jack and shit about Tolkien. There are people that would make me look like a retard when I'm speaking about Tolkien.
No, I don't doubt it.
And those people are livid. They make my anger look like peace. Like
and that's the thing, right? Like they're trying to do these things, and we talk about like you want to do something new, make something new. If you don't want to do something new, if you're looking to take an established thing and have the built-in fans, the built-in lore, everything, have all of this fucking, the house is built. All you gotta do is add a room onto it and don't fuck up. And everybody who's already in the house will go into the room. And then they build a shitty room, and say you don't want to come in the room because you're racist, sexist, homophobic, or whatever. And
Right.
it's like, just make it good. It's possible.
You know, the thing about all of that ridiculous diversity that we were talking about earlier that shows up in the Rings of Power, it's not that stuff really is like even the central problem, but it was a symptom, right? We could see that there was problems coming because of these like signs. It's like the cold sores on somebody's, face or junk. You're like, wait a sec, hold up. There's a problem here, right? You got the herpes. Well, we could tell that the show had the herpes before we got there.
Rings of Power has the herpes on the
You have
jump.
herpes, my friend.
Yes,
They're
that's herpes.
flaring pretty bad.
All right, we're winding down. We got 7 minutes to go. We lost 2 shows. We lost 2 shows because there no more Bordor, no more no more Bordor, and no more She-Hulk. Which,
Well, we got the Mandalorian coming back.
is
That's
it next week?
Next year.
Is it?
Yeah, it's next year.
Yeah, that's next year. I'm talking about next week.
Disney's fucking making me watch these things for nothing. What about Secret Invasions on?
That's next year. Or wait, that's September. No, December.
2023.
Well,
Never mind.
Yes, next year.
As much as I
2023.
don't want to see it, I'm going to try to see Black Adam this coming weekend and see if.
No. Oh
if I
yeah,
can
Black
Okay.
Adam.
puke all
Okay,
over the
there you
place.
go. There we go. We'll have the last episode of House of the Dragon. We'll have Black Adam. We will have another episode of Andor. And if we can come up with anything in the interim, just send it out in the group chat.
Well,
I told you,
Groot
Dahmer.
thing, right?
What's that?
Oh, and Groot and Dahmer.
What is Black Adam? Is this something new or is just?
Did you see the DC movie Shazam?
Yeah.
Okay, Black Adam is like an evil version of Shazam.
All right.
It's another DC movie, and it stars The Rock in the most poorly cast role of his lifetime.
Gotcha. Did you see Kazam by Sinbad?
No.
I am.
Are you part of that
Shazam.
Mandela effect or no? Are you in that Mandela effect or no? I remember that movie. I don't give a fuck what anybody
I
says.
remember it, but I didn't watch it.
I watched that
Damn,
fucking
it was
movie.
so good.
But it doesn't exist anywhere.
No, it was made up.
It's a real movie though.
I know it was a real movie, but it wasn't an actual DC comic. They just
No,
made-
but it doesn't. Not Shazam, but Kazam.
yeah, Kazam with Shaquille O'Neal, and he was a
No,
genius.
not that one. With
Sinbad.
Sinbad.
There's the Mandela effect. You guys can look it up. It's Kazam and Sinbad, and I know exactly what you're talking about, man. Is that people think that Sinbad did one, and Sinbad actually they filmed a trailer for it just to fuck with people. If you go to YouTube, they did because of it's hilarious, dude. Sinbad filmed a trailer for the Kazam, and you'll see it on YouTube.
It's actually Shazam. Yeah, it's on there. Yeah. Is it?
No.
I seen it. I seen the trailer for it that they said that they made just to fuck with people with the Mandela effect.
Yeah.
But did you see Sinbad go on there?
It was
Made
Sinbad
his
was
own
on it.
little thing and was like, oh well, I paid the government to get it off of the internet and take all the videos down. And he was like, he was such a big guy that he could make that shit happen. I was like, God damn,
No, it was
Sinbad.
not real, dude.
Yeah.
So you weren't part of that Mandela effect? Is that what you're saying?
No, look,
I've
I
never
have
even heard
memories
of
of
that.
Sinbad being in like some movie where he was a genie, but it never happened. It's not real. It's like people remembering that Nelson Mandela died before he actually died, or people that get the Berenstain Bears the name wrong, or things like that. There's like all these weird cultural phenomena that we remember. Like a lot of people remember a certain way that never actually happened.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
The Monopoly guy had a monocle on his hat on his eye,
Yeah, but he doesn't.
but he doesn't.
Yeah, it's crazy. You look at, I'm like, yeah, of course he's got a
Crazy.
monocle. And I look at it like, holy shit, there's no monocle.
That's not the Pringles guy?
You mean the Mr. Peanut
Mr. Peanut.
The Mr.
from
Peanut guy.
Planters?
No, the Pringles guy looked like the fucking Monopoly man.
Does
That's-
he?
They're saying that's how come we think that the Monopoly guy has a monocle, because we're associating the
With
peanut guy with
yeah.
the Monopoly guy for him to have the monocle. That is one excuse. I don't know. I believe in the Mandela effect. I think some of us live different in different universes.
No, the multiverse is BS, man. That's not real.
I don't know.
The multiverse ruins canon. It can't be real. Otherwise, we'll never know anything about history.
Gives
But
people
did
excuse
that really
for
happen?
lazy writing.
Sea Dog said in the new Halloween movie, they basically gave Michael Myers a sidekick killer. Like, what the fuck?
What?
He's
If we can get a
he's got
chance,
his
try to
Harley
find-
Quinn.
So from what I was told by C-Dog, that there's a sidekick to Michael Myers, but then they end up killing him off anyways. I did not watch it though. I'm not a big fan of that.
I was a fan of it when I was young. I haven't watched a Halloween movie since H2O.
That was the last one I saw too.
When they started bringing them back every year, I was just like, okay, I'm fucking done with these movies.
Right.
I think I watched the one that fucking Fuzzy's buddy made, the Rob Zombie one.
The remake.
Oh,
Yeah, and it was just like, I don't know.
Did I watch that one?
I have vague
Don't-
memories of it.
I don't
but
think I ever watched it. I may have watched bits and pieces of it, but I didn't really pay attention to it.
Yeah, I remember almost the entirety of the original. I remember almost nothing of the remake by Zombie.
All right. So next week, House of the Dragon, Black Adam. Mo, we'll try to hook up on Thursday or Friday. Go see that movie. House of the Dragon, Black Adam. And then we're going to be closing out. Well, Andor's what? Got another week or 3 left, huh?
I think it's going like 20 episodes, I think I read.
Yeah, I heard it's going to the end of November or something.
Yeah. So
Oh,
we got
fuck.
Andor for the long run.
Yeah, I wish they need to get switch with House of the Dragon.
Yes.
All right, y'all. See you next week.
Peace out, fellas.
Night.
Yeah.